Yeah,
John Krysinsky here, Pittsburgh Sports Live with Jordan Smith. Jordan, we saw tonight the Pittsburgh Riverhounds played the Tampa Bay Rowdies to a 0-0 scoreless draw here at Highmark Stadium. It was everything what I expected. Maybe no goals, maybe no mistakes made by either side, but this was two tactically disciplined sides that didn't give in to each other, and it ended up in a scoreless draw. Felt like a playoff game. Felt like a playoff match,
Yeah, it had a vibe to a playoff game. Scoreless. I predicted 1-1 on Twitter, but same result as a tie. Both teams get 1 point. Tampa Bay is still staying in first place. Both teams have 34 points, but Tampa Bay has the upper hand because they have 2 games in hand right now. So Riverhounds are still a little behind, chasing them kind of. But yeah, it was tight, intense, like we said after the game. Danny Griffin talked about that, how it was tight out there, and Bob said, that they were getting in behind the midfield quite a bit, but just not much execution in the final third. Not too many chances, really. The biggest one was just Perez's rip off to the crossbar. That was about it.
And that was late in the match, about the 84th minute. And to your point, Jordan, I felt like you're watching them get into the final third. There was a couple times flat-footed. You pointed this out. Flat-footed touch, not really quite getting a foot on the ball. Whether it was Alex Dixon out wide, whether it was Danny Rivera, whoever. It wasn't any one player, but just not quite sharp enough maybe in the final third.
Yeah, I guess you could tell mid-season they've had quite a few games lately, and I think that's what it comes down to, is just they're a little bit tired out there. Dixon, he's been on fire lately, so you can't really complain about him, but 2 games in a row now, him not producing. I felt like him specifically out wide right. He was a little flat. Jelani Peters in the back, a couple too many turnovers. I thought Shane Wheat was solid, but sometimes when Peters had the ball, I was a little confused what was going to happen.
He tried to push forward a couple times and then kind of lost control of it. But Bob Lilly also spoke about Ezra Armstrong getting a second start now, and how he was okay with him maybe taking some chances. I think he likes what Ezra brings to the table. Mm-hmm. His pace, his creative ability on the width, to get forward from the outside back spot. It was Dixon and Ezra played kind of like a hybrid tonight. They were tucking back deep in almost like a 5-man back line at times, just to kind of keep things secure. Bob was very happy with the way his team defended tonight and how their defensive shape was. He seemed very pleased with that, and obviously a shutout against a team like Tampa, but just felt like they were missing something, as we continue to say, that final third. But I thought overall it was something that they've needed the last couple games to kind of regain their identity as a stronger defensive side, because prior to that it was 3-2 matches, 1 win, 1 loss.
Mm-hmm. Well, this is the first time post-game, I think, all season that Bob has said the back line was good. I feel like this is the first time he said so. And, they're a little bit banged up. They played Ezra back there as a wing back, and, that's not someone that's been playing every game. So for him to say the back line was that great and you're not even fully healthy, I think that's a good sign, at least that there's some improvement. But it's a good thing they didn't lose. Under Bob Lilly, they've yet to lose 3 games in a row, and they've only lost twice in a row on 3 different occasions. So at least they got the 1 point tonight, so that's some improvement. But they got a game coming up on Sunday. Danny Griffin said that a lot of them have been talking with Robbie Mertz. They were excited that this matchup was going to happen. So the hometown kid Robbie Mertz will be returning on Sunday, and that'll be a big 3 points for the Hounds. I feel like they've lacked to get points against out-of-division opponents.
Yes, they have.
Indy 11, Austin Bold. So, they did win against Indy 11, but historically they wouldn't. So, this will be big.
Mixed results for sure. And they have 2 more out-of-division matches, one this Sunday against Atlanta, and then an interesting road trip to San Antonio. So the Hounds don't usually go out west, but this will be their first trip against a Western Conference opponent I probably think going back to 2014. So that's down the road. But right now, and we saw tonight, Bob Lilly has earned his the title of the Riverhounds coach with the longest tenure now.
Yeah.
So official tonight, he's passed Justin Evans.
Yep.
And so, he's made his mark. And you asked a really good question during the press conference about has he felt like he's improved the culture of this club? Has he had an impact on that, and his thoughts on that? And it was an interesting response.
Yeah, I love how Bob is just very honest, and he said, blatantly that, to build a culture, it takes time, and a part of that culture is winning championships. And he referred to the Steelers and the Penguins across the river, how, they've won several times. And I think that's why Bob just spends so much time talking to the team after games, is because he really wants his team to make a deep playoff run and a chance to, win a championship, because that's what he wants to do. And he mentioned Coriopolis as well, building that complex down there in Montour. He wants big things to happen here, and it sounds like Bob really wants to build something here, so that's good.
Yeah, and that extra time with the players, I think also he's invested so much time in the off season in having to deal with different types of roster turnover. So
yeah,
he's trying in a short period of time to get a lot of guys to buy in, and I think they come here buying into it. But we've seen comments from different players saying, I still didn't expect it to be like this. So there's definitely an adjustment period for a lot of players. But as you can see, the success is there, and the success continues under his watch. So 0-0 tonight. This is a team that I think they're poised to be in a battle. I mean, this is going to be, as I wrote about in the Hounds Notebook yesterday, the Atlantic Division fight for supremacy is not going to be easy. Tampa proved, two teams that are, as I said at the outset of is that they're very well organized, tactical discipline. Tampa Bay didn't give an inch. There was physical when things got mixed up in the box, on every set piece. Neither team gave in, and this is what we're going to expect, I think, especially against the top tier teams for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I would expect a lot of close results, and that'll be able to show us what the Riverhounds are really made of, is if they're going to get that goal in the last 10 minutes or whatever it is that's needed to get the result. And